Hello, everyone. Give everyone a chance to hop on. What are y'all doing tonight? So fun to see all of your names on the screen. I've gotten quite a few texts that we're gonna, hi Stacy. I got quite a few texts that we're gonna have people joining us. Well, not joining us, but watching the video over the weekend. I think as things are opening up and people are headed back to work and whatnot. All right, good. Whew. Well, I've been at the ER all afternoon since 2 with Aiden, so that's exciting. Hey, but he's okay, so don't worry about him. He's all good. Everything's fine. And I'm just happy to be here with you, lovely, scrappy people. So, if everything is correct in your bag, you should be able to pull out the entire stack, and I'm going to work in that order. So hopefully, and I'm still just waiting for everyone to get on, so I'm just kind of talking. Hopefully, this little butterfly, this beautiful rose gold butterfly, is on top of your pile. If it is, someone just hit a thumbs up. I try, like I said in the past, I try to work off the same kit that you all have so that I know where my boo-boos are, if there are. And of course, if you misplace a jewel, these little babies can run away from you. And I'd just like to mention too, in your bag of jewels are also your eye dots. The dots for the eyes on this card. So the 2 dots for these eyes are in with the jewels. So that those aren't garbage, but I just thought, you know what? That's probably as good a place of any to put them because it's all the little teeny tiny things. So, and that's the last card we're going to get to. So at the end of using all of our jewels, you should have 2 tiny little tan or beige little dots in there. I'll let you all say hello to each other. And it's so nice to see all of your little emojis and everything fly by on my screen. Wait just a little bit longer, and then we'll dive right in. It is after 7:05. So while we're waiting just a couple more minutes, these are not the cards we're doing tonight, right? These are July's cards. Yes, actually, while you're waiting for us to start, you can start poking out all of... See, I didn't want to do all the work for you guys. This just makes it more, more personal. So you can poke out all of your... the little pieces in your butterfly while we're waiting. And I'm just going to kind of flash up here. These are the July cards. They're kind of pastel. I don't know. I find them very calming. There's some ripped papers and pastels. I really like them. So that's July. That is July 14th. I know some of you have already signed up. So if you haven't already, just start poking out all of the little pieces of the die cut. So we're going to be working on this one. You should be able to just pick up this top section and then leave everything else aside. And then you can keep your dimensionals. Oops, my butterfly tried to fly away. You can keep your dimensionals and your jewels and your little pieces close by. But you can start poking these out. I'm going to give everyone a chance. And there's 2 butterflies, and they both have things to poke out. Just be careful. You might need to involve your scissors, like I am going to right now, because they are pretty delicate. And you don't want to lose any of your pieces. So if you have like a pen or a pencil or even just the tips of your little scissors, you can kind of poke them out. Most of them should fall out pretty easy. Oh, I was just trying to text you, Lucille, on my watch. Glad you made it. It's always so tricky. Of course, my phone is what I use to go live, and then I see everyone texting me, and I feel helpless. I can't help them because my phone is in use. But she found us. Hi, Marianne. So glad to see you on here. Okay. All right, so if you're just now getting on, go ahead and poke out all the little parts to your butterfly. And if we're still waiting, you can go ahead and do both of them, save some time on the next one. But if you're worried about disrupting your stack, you don't have to do that. Oh, hey, Ruth found us. All right. Okay, well, I think we're going to get this party started. And as always, if you miss anything, that's the beauty of this being recorded. You can always go back and watch later. So, of course, we're just going to start with our base. Let's get our base folded. You're going to find these cards are pretty straightforward. The hardest thing is going to be, flipping your little jewels over. Now, I attached this one straight to the card. This one I attached with the larger dimensionals. So you should have enough dimensionals. I believe you've got like 2 little rows of these. So you should have plenty to do 5 on this one. And then I did not pop this one up, but you can, if you feel like this needs a little support, because this bottom part is popped up, you could always put one under here. If you find it easier to attach your jewels before, you could do that, but I'm going to suggest you wait until we attach it to the card, only because, trying to manipulate it and stick it onto the card, you might bump some of your jewels. And so we can apply the liquid adhesive straight to the butterfly and our jewels, and we really shouldn't have a problem. So you can start assembling those pieces. This one goes flat on the card, and there should be, you know, your white area around it. And of course, as I always say, you're the boss of your own art. And so I expect that I don't have to give permission to any of you to do whatever you like with these pieces if you feel like you want to go off-road, as I like to say. So I'm just putting the dimensionals on this square piece here. And then that goes to the top of the card, just equidistant from the top and the sides. And then we're going to attach this one so it's overhanging, and you can decide how much you want to overhang it. I again did it sort of equidistant from the top and the sides, so mine's not overhanging too much. And hopefully you did put that dimensional in the middle, so then you have like a little spot that you can really, you can push down on it so that it attaches. Once you attach that, we're going to open up our little bag to get out one of our adhesive with many names. The booger, the snot dot, the Zot, right? You might want to just dump everything out of this little bag. One of mine came off in the bag. That's exciting. I used 5 big dimensionals. You should have enough of both. You're going to have some left over. And you just have a little small Zot. Just use one. We're going to use the other one for the other butterfly. It is wide enough that you could probably get away with using just your regular adhesive, but I like to use that on the butterfly. And I kind of lifted up the wings a little bit. Obviously they're going to get mailed, so they're going to flatten out, but I like to kind of ruffle them a little bit. And unlike last month where we had like a bunch of different colors of jewels, and we had to pay attention to which little baggie we were using, all the jewels on these cards are the same, except for the big dark one, except for the bigger one. And I think some of you have, there's 2 different colors out there. Now, I just dumped all mine out. Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. I forgot. There's 4 little black jewels. So the black jewels and the big jewel are for another card. So kind of set them off to the side. And then there's 2 little teeny tiny, like tiniest little jewels you've ever seen. Those are for another card. Look at, I'm just telling tales, telling you that it's all the same jewels. Goodness. I'm just kind of turning them over here with my fingers and sorting them out. Just giving everyone time to catch up. So we're going to use 6 of the jewels on this one. So 6 go on here and the rest go on here. And what I gave you was enough for you to put them in these little swirls. So there's 4 on this side and 4 on this side. And then you should have 6 for the other card. So once again, if you want to use them all on this one, and not use them on the other one, that is fine. But it should be 8 and 6. So once you've got your butterfly attached, then it's time for us to apply the jewels. And I kind of work a couple at a time. I'm using my precision point adhesive here. I'm just going to dab some on each of these little swirly areas and then drop it on, and you use your little wax pencil that should have been in your kit, or that you got in last month's kit. And I do have Sue was our lucky winner, right? She won one of these little jewel applicators, and I do have a couple. If anyone wants to buy one, they're just $5, and I can send one in your our next kit. There's not a ton, but there are some. Alrighty. It just makes it so, I mean, the little wax pencils work great. I like that this little pokey end I was able to use to poke out the die cuts. Okay, I got you. Marianne, I've got one for you. Okay, so just, do a like or text if you're done with that card, and we can move on to the next one. It's just beautiful. Whoever gets this birthday card, they are a special, special person, right? Isn't it beautiful? I just love the way that card looks. The butterfly, I used the snot dots, the zots, the boogers. There should be 2 in this little pack. I suggest you dump out the whole pack because I didn't. I attempted to extract it, and one of mine got a little stuck to my other items. So if that happens, you can use just your regular adhesive to attach. All right, when you're done, just comment done, and not because it's a race, but just so I know when I'm allowed to move on to the next. And when I do move on, I'll kind of move this one off to the side so that you can still see it if you need it. But then we can move on to the next one. Hi, Gail. So Gail, if you're just joining, you missed one card, but you can go back later and watch that card. And you can just, they're stacked in the order we're going to do them. So you can just take off one and then go to this one so that you're on the right one. And this is going to be the next card. And it looks like, it's going to look like this when it's done. I don't want to lose all my little jewels here. So I'm going to move this one off to the side so people can still look at it if they need it. This is the one we're going to be working on next. So we can go ahead and fold our base. This one is a landscape card. And again, these very straightforward. So we've got our base. Oh, okay, great. So glad, Gail. Then you've got your background. Then we've got our butterflies, and then we've got the hello. Now, I just attached the hello with my adhesive, and then you can pop your hello up off the page if you want. And then we're gonna show the cards. Yep. So this is the one we're starting now. And we're gonna use our 4 black jewels in the corner. It's just 4 layers. So we've got our gray background, our flower, our purplish Merlot, piece of cardstock and then our white hello that I've inked for you. And if you want to pop this up, you've got plenty of dimensionals to do that. You can use the small ones, you can use the large ones, whatever you want to do. Okay, so you can go ahead and once that's folded, you can go ahead and start assembling. You can add our adhesive. And if there's a certain way that you like, the patterns are kind of funny. Like you'll notice on my sample, I've got one kind of butterfly going, or butterfly, maybe it's a moth, kind of going upside down. So you might want to adjust your placement of the hello accordingly, depending on your flower direction. So to me, for this one, I feel, and I don't know why, I think it's literally the same. Is it the same? I think one day I felt like I needed to put it this way, and today I feel like I need to put it this way. That's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pop some dimensionals on here. It probably, as I'm popping the dimensionals on here, I'm thinking it probably would have been a better idea to put my hello on first. I don't know if you've noticed, I did find some dimensionals that are the slim dimensionals. So you all have the slim dimensionals. I really like them because sometimes the super thick ones just, I don't know, get a little bulky. So you can just add a little lift to things. So for the hello, you can use your liquid adhesive if you like, or if you have the repositionable tape runner from Creative Memories, that's perfect too. We've talked about this before. It kind of reminds me of the Xyron machine where it really only sticks where there's paper. Some of it will get on your surface, but you can kind of just rub it away. Makes it super easy. You don't have to worry about all the little ins and outs. And then the last thing you're going to do is add the glue in your corners for your black dots, your black jewels, black dots. And my brain is a little fried because of the 4 hours in the emergency room. It was very non-eventful though. It's good. All right. And that's that one. So depending on your moths or your butterflies, you can decide on the placement for hello. Maybe you just wanted it straight across the middle. That's fine too. It is your driver's choice, right? Easy peasy. And if you don't want to use the dimensionals on this one, you don't have to. And this one's a little crooked and it's making me crazy. So I need to straighten that out. All right, I'm going to move that off to the side. Are you guys good? Or maybe not. I'll hold it up here. Catch the light. It still looks crooked. Maybe it's the way I'm holding it. Just go ahead and say done if you're done. Once we get a couple of you ready to move on. I know when you guys are working with the jewels and stuff, it's hard to comment. when you're ready to move on. I'm sure you heard that. But I do not have a cup with ice, so I will not be tempted to crunch ice for my friend Tracy. Okay. While we're waiting for everyone. Okay. How do I stick the hello? You can use your adhesive or you can use your liquid adhesive. It's not popped up or anything. It's just stuck on there. You can use, tape if you want to do little pieces along the bottom. It's however, there's no special adhesive for the hello. It's whatever you want to use. I'm going to slide this one over. If at any time you're waiting for everyone to move on, you can be popping things out, like the inside the letters. I left all those for you to do as a treat. I know. That way you can have some on your carpet and on your workspace, and they'll get stuck to your feet. And then when you see it later and you've tracked it to your bedroom, you'll think of this event fondly. That's what I imagine happens when you find these in odd places. You say, oh yes, because that's what happens to me. I find that, I say, what is that? Oh, I've tracked it across the house somehow. All right. I guess we are ready to move on to this one. Actually, this is the thinking of you, and I think I misspoke earlier when I said that was going to be last. I'm going to leave the hello up there. So for this one, let me just dig it out. It helps if it's right side up. Okay, so this is this card. Now I've offset this butterfly to the right if you want to center it. Of course, you're welcome to do that, whatever you want. So you should have your base, which gets completely covered. So it is a white base. That's great. That's great, Sue. The cats, the animals, they're always helping. So it is a white base, but you're going to completely cover it. So we've got this piece of black, which is going to go on the bottom. This little piece of purple tucks underneath. Well, actually, really, we should have just started with this one, right? So, and then this also tucks under. So first this piece, then this piece, just a little bit showing, and then the black. So you just want a tiny, sorry, Stacy. You just want a tiny little piece of the purple showing. So you've got your floral piece at the top. Next, just a tiny little bit of the purple showing. And the whole thing is underneath here, right? And then the black. So you may even want to attach your flower, attach your black, and then kind of tuck in the purple so that you have the right amount sticking out, and that way your black is lined up. So I would say that that's the way to do it. Apply your floral to the top, apply your black to the bottom, but don't go with your adhesive right up to the edge, and that way you can tuck in your purple. And then you've got your beige piece that you're going to mat with your floral. You're going to mat your floral in the beige piece, and then add the little teeny tiny jewels that you have. They're just barely above needing a compound microscope to see. They're so tiny. They're the ones that go on the side. And then you've got your other butterflies, your tiny butterflies. And do pay attention, your big butterfly is inked. You don't see a purple, you don't see a tiny purple strip? One of these? Uh-oh. So we have a couple people that are missing these little purple ones. If you do, just message me after and I will get one to you. You should have a little purple piece. It may have slid out, so check in between your other little pieces for that. Your black and your floral should match up. Oh, goodness. So we need some purples out in the world. It was bound to happen, folks. I was on a good run. Now I've fallen off. We're missing all kinds of purple all over the state of Florida. Okay. But these will match up perfectly. So if you just match the floral to the black, you could skip the purple. But, I mean, purple is amazing. You shouldn't have to skip your purple. So I apologize if you are missing a purple. And like I said, just message me. And I will get you a purple for sure. Yours is in the next stack down. Okay, yeah, do check the next. Well, Stacy, there are 2 little tiny strips in the next stack down, so don't use that one. The little butterflies should be in your little Ziploc with your words. So don't, Stacy, if it doesn't stretch the whole way across the card, it might be for the next one. Yeah, and shipping, sometimes things get a little jostled, but no, your purple should stretch across the whole, that goes on before the square. Okay, so you've got your black, you've got your floral, and then you've got the purple that stretches all the way across. So if you don't have your purple, let me know, or you could skip it. And then if you're missing anything else, please let me know and accept my apologies. I triple check these things, but these little pesky papers. Also, there might be someone out there that has 2 of something. All right, so the purple goes next, and then you can add your little square, your little botanical square. Apparently I cannot line up anything tonight. I am so crooked tonight. I must need a V8. So our beige square goes on top, and then the floral. Now, on my original card, I just mounted the butterfly straight to it. But if you want to add like a small dimensional, because they're the slim, you know, it won't be very puffed up. You could also add dimensionals under the square if you wanted to pop up the whole square. I'm just going to do the butterfly on this one. And then we've got our itty bitty tiny, teeny weeny little jewels. I think my little puddle of adhesive is larger than my jewels, but if you're using the Creative Memories precision point adhesive, then it'll dry clear, so that's good. Then we can add our butterflies. I'm just gonna use my regular tape runner for that, but you can use your glue pen. And then we'll add the Thinking of You. So the Thinking of You is, you know, pretty much stretches end to end. And so again, that's one of those things you can play with the placement based on the placement of your other items if you're not doing it like mine. And your eyes, so like in this case, this is not going to work with my little butterfly that low. So I'm going to go with the Thinking of You right across. And then your little brown, your little tan eye dots were in with your little jewels. So hopefully you can see them. They're almost as microscopic as those little tiny jewels that we used on this card. So once we get that on there, this font's a little funny too. Make sure your eye dot goes over the right little hump. The right little letter. Yes, little tittles, thank you. I do love, after I've worked with the liquid adhesive for a card or two, my fingers become tacky and they become their own little like pickup tool. It's convenient. Get a little liquid adhesive on your fingers and helps pick things up. Okay. Hopefully this one didn't give you too much grief. Remembering to pick it up here for my friend Stacy. It's that card. We'll move that one off. Well, I'll keep it front and center here while everyone is finishing. And Feel Better is on deck. I can't believe we're already past the midway of June. For a year where I feel like I really haven't done anything. It's just gone by so fast. How are we doing? Are you guys still trying to find your tittles and your microscopic jewels? All right. See, it's dangerous while I'm waiting for you guys. Then I see things that I need to fix on my card. Instead of saying done is better than perfect. Oh, well, wait, let me just move this. The jewels they go, I put them right next to the square. The tiny little jewels. And then the last 6, although I might have given you extra just in case you lost some. The last larger pink jewels, I say larger, they're still tiny, they go on the next card, on this Feel Better card. And then your last jewel goes on the last card. Okay. I'm going to just set this one off to the side. And we'll move this one a little bit closer. What color? Black jewels? No, the black jewels go on here, Kirsten. The black jewels go on the hello card. They go on the corners of the hello card. You might need to flip them over. These ones are tiny, tiny little pink ones. Like, they're so tiny. For the Feel Better one, you should have 2, and I pray that everyone has these 2. They're 2 different color, little 1/4-inch strips, and then 3 squares, and then your Feel Better is in one of your little packets, and then you've got jewels. I've got some left over. Hopefully that doesn't mean somebody's packet is short too. I might have just given you extra, but I did them 3 and 3 along the top. Wow, it was bound to happen. We knew there was going to be an earthquake during this card class. There it was. So we've got the 3 jewels there and the 3 jewels here. Now you can see how when they're spaced just a little bit apart, we've got the corner just over the paper. So let's start, and I'll just kind of talk you through so you get the spacing right. Go ahead and fold your base. And then we've got our background. Now you can see we're kind of, we only have 2 cards left. So if you want to use dimensionals where I haven't, the only place I've used dimensionals on this card is on the Feel Better. And I had to cut, there's a whole one under the FE and the BE. And then I did cut them in half to go under the Better. And then on the last card, they're just under this one piece. So if you've got extra dimensionals and you want to pop up other things, then you just have a ball. Next, this little white square is going to go centered. Or wherever you would like to put it. Okay. Now, pick which one is gonna be your kind of, and we don't need to stick it yet, but whichever one you're gonna make the center. So like for this one, it doesn't have a lot going on this inside piece, so I'll probably, go over the Better. The Better will kind of cross into that. So you can figure out your layout. Now this one, I have initially made it too high, so I'm going to slide it down, because I just want this corner to go off, and I want these other ones centered. You might want something a little different. And then these little guys are kind of staggered, but they go underneath. So they go underneath here. So now what I'm going to do is apply this one so that I know where the other two go, right? Because it's going to be easy for me to attach that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one down where it goes. Okay, now I can safely move these away and put these little pieces down, because now I can line these up pretty easily. So I'm going to start with this one. And this is one of those little pieces where you can use the adhesive, you can use your regular tape runner adhesive, or you can use your precision point adhesive. So I'm going to do this one. And I've got it just about a 1/4 inch. It's a little closer to the bottom than the top. And then I'm going to do I'm going to push the other one up, the darker one up. Okay. Okie doke. That is too high up. Trying to stay out of the way of you seeing. I'm in my own way. Okay, once those are attached, now you can go back and attach the other ones. And they should be easy to line up if you did this one first. Once you got them on there, you can go ahead and add your jewels and your Feel Better. So for the Feel Better, oops, I need to poke out in between the T and the E there. So these the small dimensionals will fit between the first 2 letters, no problem. But at the end, you definitely are going to want to cut those in half. And on Better, if you've got an extra dimensional, you may even want to put 2 there, if you want. And I broke both of my nails, so I'm having a hard time getting the dimensionals off. I kind of nested the F down into above the E on the Feel Better. And then the last thing to do is add your jewels. Like I said, you might have some extra ones. They have a habit of running away from your work area. So I tried to give a couple extra. So you can use them or save them for a rainy day. And that one looks like this. How are we doing? in the home stretch. Last one. I kept you a little long last month, so we might be done a little early this month. That's to make up for my lengthy class last month. And if you're ready, or when you get ready, you can start poking out the pieces from your silver butterfly. And give them to your cat to play with. Or your dog. Hopefully no one's dog ran off with any of these pieces. And don't be afraid to involve when they're super delicate like this. That's why I had you grab your scissors. Sometimes, rather than tear a delicate die cut, it's just better to go ahead and give it a little help. Sometimes the more intricate and beautiful they are, the more difficult they can be. Can die cuts be ornery? Where do the gems go on this one? I put them in I put 3 up here and 3 here. And you might have a couple extra, Sue. All right, and if you're done, you can work on punching out your silver butterfly, your silver metallic butterfly. I hope everyone else's are coming out a little easier. Some of mine are easier than others, as is usually the case. Is it possible for a die cut to be ornery? You only need 6. Carol, you need 3 and 3. You need 3 and 3. So if you have 8, then I have 2 extra as well. I gave 2 extra just in case somebody lost one, in case the cat ran off with it. So you can do 4 and 4 if you want. If you want to do 4 jewels and 4 jewels, you can do that. Oh, good. You should have good, but you have the right amount. If you have 8, you have the right amount. Are you saying you're missing 6? Yeah, I swear sometimes with the die cuts, it's like their position on your cutting mat when it goes through the Gemini or the Big Shot. Like, I even put a shim in with them just to make sure that I got a good clip. But like this little guy. No, the next card doesn't. It just has the big jewel, Carol. That's the only one on the next card. I sent out my e-newsletter today, so hopefully If you didn't have a chance to go to read it before tonight, then take a look at it. It's got my schedule for the rest of June, July, and August as well. Lots of tool times with Tara and Facebook Lives and Zoom crops and all kinds of good stuff. So looking forward to it. I still have some spots left for the Sizzlin' Summer Crop. So just one in-person spot for Thursday. I've got a few for Friday, none for Saturday. Of course, if you're interested in doing the Zoom with us for the Sizzlin' Summer Crop, that'd be great. You will be in good company on the Zoom. You'll see the rooms, and then there'll also be people on the Zoom. So, yes. So it's going to be great. And you get a $10 certificate with the registration to spend on whatever you like. You can apply it towards a card kit. You can apply it towards any other product, whatever you want to do. And in July, on July 17th, in fact, July 17th is my official anniversary when I started doing this 20 years ago. July 17th, 2000 is when I started, sent in my Creative Memories consultant agreement. So we are going to have a very special Zoom crop on July 17th. So it'll be free and there'll be more details. Okay, Ruth, you got it. There'll be more details on let's see. I do not have you signed up, Gina. I will go check PayPal and make sure that's not in my error. I do have you signed up for this card class and July card class already. You already paid for those, obviously tonight, and you paid for July as well, I believe. Now that I said it, I should check. Yes, yep. But I can either move your July card payment over to the Zoom crop. So no worries. There's plenty of room on Zoom. Okay. Plenty of room on Zoom. So come on and Zoom. And the one in July, July 17th, that one will be free. Just to celebrate, and there'll be lots of fun. All right, so is everyone good, or are we still poking things out? If you're ready to, or are you still working on your Feel Better card? Where are we at? Hit me with a done. I assume the people that are commenting are done, because it's really hard to apply jewels and type. This is going to be our next card. Miss You, right? We can also, if we all have someone, we can send this one to right now. Okay. Great. So this is our last one. And this paper is not the paper that anyone has. You'll have like a purple piece of paper that has like kind of a crackle design on it. Some of you will have white on the back. Some of you will have a totally different pattern that will not match what we're doing, but you do you. So if you like that side better and you want to use it, you can, by all means. So some of them, they all have a crackle, sort of peeled paint kind of look to them. But this card has 3 pieces of paper. So we've got our base, and then we've got our background. And then we've got this purple square, and then we've got this one. Now I've left you your most favorite part with the scissors to make it into like little flag bottom pennant. Now I am a fan of the shallow, and you're gonna want to go shallow probably because of this piece right here. So when I say shallow, is sometimes the tendency is to just go wah, like straight up to here, and then you're kind of stuck, and it's very aggressive is not the right word. It's a very steep cut. What is the word I'm looking for? So I like to go very shallow with mine. Just my personal preference. So if you like a steep and not a shallow, if you like a deep cut, then you do you. Okay. So once you've got that one's going to go on the that one's going behind. And then we'll add this one on top. Then you'll add your metallic butterfly with a dot, snot dot, whatever you want to call it. You should have a second one. If you don't, you can even use a mini dimensional. That might fit. If it doesn't fit, you can trim it off. So we'll add our background. Then we're going to add this piece here. And just like the others, I've kind of have it equally spaced between the top and the side here, so that when I put this one on, I can get the same spacing on this edge. And now that I put that on there, I forgot I was gonna pop this up. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this up. And you should have enough to do that. It wasn't part of my original design, but I did send extra dimensionals because I know they come in handy, and I know that many of you are making cards all the time. So a spare dimensional or two is always nice to have laying around. All right. And then we'll add the butterfly. Now the butterfly is kind of centered in the card, so it's going to be like to the left of this piece here. You just want to have room for the miss you. Oh, and you get to cut that out too. So again, I prefer the shallow because you can always go deeper with that cut. So I'm going shallow. I can't use my scissors tonight either. And if you need to trim off a little bit of on the edge, you can. And then your big jewel goes on there. So you got your big jewel. Of course, you should probably put your adhesive on there first. All right. And then the last thing I have to do there is to stick on my butterfly, and I think I am just going to use one of the little dimensionals. If you put it on a diagonal between the top and bottom wing, the little corners will be perfect. And you notice on this butterfly, there's no, like, there weren't little swirls where we put the jewels on the other one. So So there aren't jewels on this one. You can place him on there and kind of fluff up his wings. And that should be it for that one. How are we doing? My 2 extra jewels that I need to find a place for. Kind of put the rest of these out here so we can see all the cards we did tonight. Well, I can't see yours, but I'm sure they look beautiful. And as always, I hope you'll take a picture of yours and share them in the comments. It's always fun to see everyone's completed cards. Or you can just post them on your personal timeline and you can tag Daytona Area Scrapbooking. That's great too. And I showed them at the beginning, but you might not have been on when I showed them. Oh, yeah, that would be cute. These are the cards for next time. Got Sending Positive Vibes, Thankful for You, the dragonfly with some green and purple jewels. A Hello Friend with some jewels. Thank you, Stacy. A Make-A-Wish with some candles, birthday candles and some little metallic flames. And then a Happy Birthday, and I love, what are those called? That just went totally out of my brain. Dandelions, wow. Little dandelions, isn't that what they are? That you blow? Another happy birthday. So chime in when you're done, because I don't want to just leave you hanging on the feed. No, they're the things you blow on. Aren't those dandelions? What are those? Yeah, the little puff balls. Alrighty. Well, that's for July. We've got lots of fun stuff coming up. Thank you. That's what I thought. If my order that I just placed yesterday, and if you haven't seen that vitamin C papers and tools that just came out from Creative Memories, when that comes in, I hope on Thursday, I might do a surprise Facebook Live and do like a surprise Full Time with Tara. So just to show some of that cool stuff. So thank you all for being here tonight. I love, I hope the people you send this to, all these cards to, are blessed. You are a blessing. Stay scrappy, friends, and I will see you soon. Take care.